Hey, how you doing? David Taub here with Epic Guitar Instruction. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. Today you're going to learn the killer song Us and Them by Pink Floyd from the 1973 record Dark Side of the Moon. It's just a masterfully written song, and it's just a masterpiece of a record. The whole record is just incredible. And I think this is a very good song for study because it's a really interesting and unique chord progression in the intro and the verses, and it's also going to pull you out of first position. So if you're playing a lot of your chords down here all the time, we're going to be playing some triads, and we're going to be up here higher on the neck. So it's a nice little change. Now the song is in standard A440 tuning, so go ahead and tune your guitars low to high: E, A, D, G, B, and E. Now the thing about this song is it's very slow. It's only about 70 beats per minute, so you don't want to rush it. And the other thing is about this song that's so killer is the dynamics, really kind of mellow verses and intro, and then big huge choruses, right? And then the mellow verses, and then a big huge chorus, and then the mellow, and then the big, and then the mellow. That whole dynamic goes into it making just such a powerful tune. The song basically is only two progressions because it's the same progression in the intro that he uses for the verses, and then it's all the verses. There's three verses, and they're all the same. The progression is the same, and then there's the chorus part, and the choruses are the same. So basically you get two progressions down, you have the whole song. The song starts with that killer Hammond organ, right? It's very atmospheric. And then the arpeggiated, that very famous arpeggiated part where he's picking the notes come in. Let's go over those chords, shall we? So the first chord you're going to need is a D suspended second that looks like this. Okay, and I'm barring with my first finger the high E and the B strings at the 5th fret. I'm playing the 7th fret with my third finger on that G string, but then open D. Or open D is going to be played throughout this intro. You get this chord, little triad with an open D. All right, and you're only going to be playing the top 4 strings for all these chords, and then you move that up a whole step. The second chord, right? Same exact voicing as the first chord as that D sus2, but now we're going to move it up. So I'm barring now at the 7th fret with the first finger and 9th fret on the G string with my third finger, open D string. I'm going to call this chord D6-9. All right, and then the third chord in the progression is slide your third finger up 1 fret to the 10th fret G string, add your pinky underneath it to the 10th fret B string, and your second finger on the 9th fret on that C sharp note on the high E string. And again, open D string, and you get this. All right, we're going to call that chord D minor major 7th. And then for the fourth chord in this intro and in the verses, you're going to need this little major triad here. Again, I'm barring, but bar the top 3 strings at the 7th fret, the G, B, and the high E, and then add your second finger on the 8th fret of the B string. Little G triad, but we're going to add again that open D. So that makes it a G over D. And then the progression goes back to the first chord, that D sus2. Now you play each chord for 2 measures, and I'm going to show you the picking pattern in a second. And basically that's the progression for the intro and all the verses. And then he repeats that whole thing twice for the intro, repeats that whole thing twice for the verses. And all the verses are the same. And if you got a second, please subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel really helps us to keep bringing the content. And then you'll be notified as well when we have new lessons posted. Leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson. Let us know what lessons you'd like to see coming up in the future. And if you like the video, please click the like button. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. Let me play it for you, and then I'll go back and explain it. Okay, and that's 1 time through. You want to repeat that, do it 2 times through. And notice too that open D string is ringing. You're hitting that multiple times for each chord, and you want the notes to kind of bleed into one another as you're picking them, and that just kind of fills out the sound. You don't want to kill them after each strike. So we'll use the same picking pattern over all the chords. He varies it a little bit when he gets over here. And he starts playing more than one note at the same time. But I think this will get you playing it the fastest. Let's just use this picking pattern. So for each of the chords, you're going to pick first, for instance, let's stay on that D sus2 chord. And you're going to pick the open D. Then you're going to go straight down. You're going to pick the G string and the B string. Then come up on the high E, B, G, and then back down to the B. So real slow. And you repeat it. And then you do the same thing. So you go up to the next chord shape. Same exact pattern. Same on the third chord. And then on that. And then you go back to the D sus2. Right? And you do that twice, and then you repeat that progression twice. And that's the intro and the verses. Now, if you want to make it sound a little fuller, because we're just playing this on one guitar, a little trick that I would do is on that first note of each chord, when you're hitting that open D string, I just strike the whole chord and then continue. So that whole chord is kind of like your first stroke, downstroke on that open D string. So you kind of get this sound. Check it out. Right? That makes it sound so much fuller. On each chord. It's going to go into the chorus. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to play the last two times on that D sus2 because he puts in this little bass line leading into the chorus. I shouldn't say he puts it in. That's what the bass player's doing. Right? There's that movement there. And I'm going to do that on guitar. But let me, I'll play the last D sus2 chord twice, and then I'll play the chorus, and then we'll go back and I'll explain it in a strum pattern, because we're going to start strumming in the chorus. So here it is from that last part of the verse. Back to the verse. So the chords you're going to need for the chorus are B minor, and that's going to go to an A major, to a G major 7th, to a C. Alright, so basically it's in the first chorus, forward he cried from the rear and the front, rank on the A, one downstroke, died, G major 7th, I, C. Go back to the B minor, so you basically do it again. The general sat and the lines on the map is the A. Moved G major 7 from side to side, C. And then go into the next verse. So you got to get back to that D sus2 chord. The strum pattern, what we're doing on most of the chords, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All right? All right, but what you have to do, because that A chord, he kind of has that movement to the A, right? We're going to split that strum. So on the B minor chord, you do the whole strum for one measure, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now the second measure, you just do down, down, up, down, up, down, down, one down on the A. And then you get to that G major 7, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Then it repeats, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. the A, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up on that C. That's the chorus. I'd strum a little harder, make it much more bigger if you can. You're playing the fuller, full-on open chords, so you want to definitely bring that up on those choruses and then back down on the verses. If you're having trouble maybe going to that B minor bar chord or playing bar chords in general or changing from opens to bar chords, I could really help you with that. Tell you what, click on that link in the YouTube description box below. I'll send you a killer free video lesson. It's extended play. It's not on YouTube. It's my bar chord technique and bar chord changing tips guide. It's packed with exercises and bar chord techniques and playing tips, and it'll really get your bar chords playing and changing to the next level. I'll pair it with an ebook which has more chord charts in it, more lessons, more exercises. It's a fabulous 1-2 punch. It'll really help you along in your guitar journey. I'll send them both to you for free. Just click on that link below. The timing on all that in the beginning in 4/4, you could just count it in just straight, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? You can just count it like that. And then when you want to go to that chorus, you play the D sus2 and you play it for 1 full measure, and you could count that in the straight eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But the second time you just do it for half. You just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You're on that B minor, right? So basically you just do the first 4 notes of the chord. And then you're going to get that 5th fret on the A string, 4th fret on the A string, right to the B minor chord. And the way I do it is I hold this chord for as long as possible, the D sus2, and I kind of grab it with my second finger so you still hear some of the chord ringing out. You might not be able to reach it. I do it to just, again, to make it sound as full as possible. That's pretty much all the parts, because the song goes verse, chorus, then there's an instrumental break with the sax solo. But what they're doing in that part is they're just playing the verse chords, go through it 2 times, and then they're playing a chorus, the set of chords 2 times. So it's like a verse and a chorus, same progressions though. And then another verse, and then a chorus, and then it ends. And the last chord of the song is that C chord. So you play a chorus, and then you just kind of hit the C chord and let it ring, and then that's it, song ends. Hope you enjoyed that song. It's a classic, really fun to play, really interesting chord progression, masterful songwriting, just killer. Have fun with it. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel because that really helps us to keep bringing the content, and then you'll be notified when I have new lessons posted. Don't forget, click on that link in the YouTube description box below. I'll send you my bar chord essential playing and changing technique guide. It's packed with tips, exercises. It's killer extended play. It's not on YouTube. I'll pair it with an ebook. It'll really help you along. Click on that link below. I'll send it to you for free. And also, if you got a second, I recently released a new record with my original band, Mindcell. Love for you to check it out. It's streaming on all the platforms. I'll put links to all of those below. Check it out. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you think of the songs or maybe the gear. If you have a question on the gear I use or the recording techniques or the studio recording, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for tuning into this lesson. So appreciated. And thank you so much for your support over the years. Keep up all that hard work on those guitars. Keep having fun with them. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. So enjoy the journey. Take care, rock on, and I will see you in the next lesson.